It's extremely important, and again, it's one of those things that the other roofers just don't talk to homeowners about. So let's walk you through a little bit of the tear-off process and getting ready to put your new roof on. Depending on how many layers and what you have going on, most roofs have a plywood deck. It's the majority of them. It's the plywood that everything goes on top of. So the roofing contractor comes in and they tear off all the old shingles, get off all the old paper, and the most common thing done is after they get that and they're down to bare wood, they take the nails, they hammer them in, then they run their new paper over the top of it and put new shingles over the top of that. We come back later and all of a sudden you'll see in 5, 7, 10 years, all of a sudden you'll see plywood that's popped up. You'll see these imperfections, things that just aren't right. And it's not because the roof was put on, it's because they didn't get the plywood ready. When you're tearing off roofs and you're doing things, you're moving the structure around and you want to make sure that it's ready to go. So along with putting the roof on, you want to secure it. So when a roof is put on, there needs to be a gap between the plywood. It allows the plywood to expand and contract and move around. Older houses, just over time, can close that gap. Sometimes they were too tight to begin with. So once we tear off the roof, rather than just throw our paper over the top and start roofing again, we get it ready. Remove nails, pound in ones that can't be roofed. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Then check all the gaps to all the plywood. Make sure there's a gap. If there's not a gap, we can run a nice line, run our saw down those lines, down between the plywood sheets and get a gap in there. We want it to be able to expand and contract. Next step, securing the plywood. Sometimes, just over the years, that plywood is moved around and it's lifted up, popped up here, curled here. We can re-secure it in most cases. Go back on with a nail and re-secure it back down. We can upgrade it to screws, make sure that it's not going to pop up at all. Re-secure all the plywood, get it nice and clean. Now you can go back on with your paper. Get it all secured and put your roofing on. That way you're going to get the peace of mind. The roof is going to last. You're not going to start seeing imperfections and plywood pops again 5, 7, 10 years later. It's the right thing to do before you put the roof. So prep is all that important. It's the most important part of putting on a roof, is getting it ready correctly.